Hello and welcome everybody. I'm here with Khushi Shah. She is my friend in class and also my classmate and somebody who is actively into debating and the culture of debating. That's exactly what I wanted to start with and ask you what the hell is this entire culture of money that you're into?
Firstly, hi, thank you so much for having me. I think it's very cool for me because I've never been on a podcast before. But on to back to debating, I think it's basically I'm into like model UN, wherein
Hmm.
we just replicate what like world leaders do, wherein like we create a committee and we talk about like local, national, and international issues.
Hmm.
So I think it all started with like I think when I was in school and like my school actively used to participate in like INU and like an organization
Hmm.
wherein we used to send like 50, 60 kids. So in my school it used to be like this thing, okay, like you can get away from school. So you have to like bunk school. So
Yeah.
that's how it started. I was very shit at it, like quite honestly first. Like I was about to cry in my first MUN, but then like I started interning at the place and it got much, much better when then I got to the other end of chairing and
Hmm.
all. So then it worked out.
So when was the first time you started interning there?
In the 11th grade.
Okay, so what exactly is II-1?
Okay, so I think out there, what we essentially do is that we
Firstly,
all
what's the
must have
full
heard of
form of II-1?
it now is India's international movement to United Nations, wherein I think the primary goal is to like get like India's seat in the UN and they're
Mm-hmm.
associated and affiliated with the UN.
Hmm.
But I think what they do is that they conduct MUN conferences for schools kids specifically, like no
Hmm.
college kids. So it's only school and high school kids, wherein they conduct it in India and across like 60 to 70 more countries around the globe.
Hmm.
So it's not like any like like an organization that is just there in your city. Like they've
Hmm.
done it on like a much higher level. Wherein what I used to do is that I used to work in the national team, wherein you're given a city. So let's say I conducted this one conference in this place in Siliguri in West Bengal, wherein you're
Hmm.
given 3 months. You're given a city. You have to find out like principals' numbers from the internet. You have to possibly convince them while you're sitting in like the Mumbai office saying, hey, I'm doing this MUN. I know you don't know me, but you got to trust me and you got to send me like 30, 40 kids from your school to come for this. So it's like, imagine like you're doing like a college fest, but there are only two people who are calling up people to come, who are organizing, and this is supposed to be on ground. Like, so right after the 3 months, we go to actually Siliguri and conduct it. So it's just
Oh.
like two people who work like 3 months behind the scenes from like financial, social media, calling people, calling guests, figuring out like on day technical stationary admin. So like our whole college fest, but like two people doing just that. So it used to be like a 3 month whole build up of just doing and slogging your ass.
Hmm.
Am I allowed to say that? Okay. Okay. And then we used to get a travel. So that used to be like something we should look forward to because the company used to pay for us. So it's like
Yeah.
they used to pay for our travel stay and then we used to enjoy, but we also used to like work like big time.
Yeah.
So it's like you're finally talking and meeting all the people you've been
Hmm.
like conversing with for like 3 months. So it was pretty
Hmm.
badass.
But that's actually wild because I thought as like I'm from Jamnabai and we also had our months and everything, but in my head, like I took part in one. I horribly messed up. Like I was Germany and like at that time this is when the European Union was like crumbling down and Germany was paying
Oh.
everybody like bailing everybody out, and I had like a lot of material, but I'm the kid who got it because I speak well but not because I know anything.
Hmm.
So I just started talking random garbage, like I've been saying I've been bailing you all out since day one, I don't care anymore, like this and that. And like it was a mess, it was a complete mess. Like I think they kicked me out on the second day and all.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was too this thing, but
For me, I think it was the opposite. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What do you mean by opposite?
For me, I was never actually really great at like talking. For me, it was like yeah, then I could like I'm great at like research and like I can figure out what to
Mm-hmm.
do. So for me, the first time, firstly, in my school in the ninth and the tenth, we didn't have economics, so we didn't study it. And the committee that I was in was EcoFin, and I was China, which is like a P5 nation, like for everyone who knows the ROP for MUNs, and the agenda, like the topic for discussion for the entire committee was how my country had like decreased its currency. So everyone was talking about me, and I didn't know jack. I didn't even know what GDP was. And
Yeah.
people are talking, you've done this, you've done that. I'm like, huh? What are you talking? It was damn bad.
Oh, bro.
Like I
It's
came back the next day, and the chair was like, "Oh, you had the guts to come back," and then I was like, "Okay, let me
that's
get on
not
with it."
nice. That's not nice. No, but that's the one thing, right? Like I for one have no idea that I didn't have an idea till at least now that there is a lot that goes behind not only taking part in an MUN, but also there's a whole body, a whole section of society that creates it, right? The entire education sector. And like that is something very interesting because it's not that we don't like as kids we just take part in all of this like H-man and all that man and
Yeah.
this and that, but it's a whole different world when you're organizing it. But is it run by all these months are mostly organized by students?
Yeah. So, like, even though in IMN, it's like a full-fledged company which does this full time, like it's run by students. But even so, like the local, it's normally
Hmm.
done by like local organizations in the city. Like, let's say how we have a debate society in college.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
It's just like that, where a group of students get together and organize it for the
Hmm.
college, or like just like that randomly to like make some money over a weekend kind of thing. So it's
How do
pretty
you make
chill that
money?
way.
How do you make money from a month?
So it's basically like the amount of delegates you get to come in. This is how we used to manage profits as well. So it's like, let's say for a conference that I do, I get 600 students, and if I'm charging, and let's say we used to charge them 2000 each for like 3 days,
Hmm.
where
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
give
Hmm.
them food and everything. So you know you're getting that kind of income, so you manage your expenses
So
accordingly.
yeah,
If
so there's an entry fee basically.
yeah, yeah, and but people pitch it in a supremely fancy way. So like even Hman and all, they give you like a proper staycation kind of thing, saying, oh, we're gonna like let you MUN in a 5 star or 7. And this is what
Hmm.
IMN does as well. Like they have their championship conference once a year in Ambi Valley, 7 star property, and they get like people from across the globe. So they give you
Ooh.
like this super fancy offer that you can't like say
For
no.
2000.
No, that's not for 2000.
Ah,
Let's say the
okay.
local one is for 2000. That's
Ah,
for like
yeah. So that all of that, like, but then that is only a section of society that can like really afford going for that, right?
exactly, exactly.
But the school held ones aren't usually
Yeah, they aren't
paid.
so pricey at all.
Hmm. That's interesting. Like this, it's a whole it's a whole business of its own. Like,
It is. A
hmm.
lot of people just do this for the business. Like I remember when I was in school, it used to be firstly the entire reason of it was that it was very cool to participate. But then
Hmm.
like once you like go like behind the scenes to organize, there was a lot of people I know who I've met like we call it the MUN circuit.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
over
Hmm.
there, a lot of people just do this for money because it's good money. People it's a very serious thing that people take like, oh, I went to an MUN, so people just like mint on that emotion. It's just
Hmm.
that.
But is it how much of a value does it hold?
So I think what, like if I had to like sell it to like a principal, like what I essentially used to tell them, like it improves like a public speaking and all of that. But
Hmm.
let's say if I'm like saying it to like an IB school, like we used to have like different pitches for like
Hmm. Hmm.
different
Hmm.
people.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
like the value just tends to be, first is like your own like holistical
Hmm.
development, because come on, you're reading like
Yeah, yeah,
international news and you're
absolutely.
coming to know about all of that.
Yep.
So that's one. Second is we used to give them like training. So we're going to train you on how to speak, how to dress formally. So then you say, oh, you're like a seven, like you're someone in the seventh or the eighth grade. You don't know how people like ambassadors behave. So we're going to tell you like how you're supposed to dress and all of that. And then lastly, it used to be like certificate that you can put on your college applications. So it's nothing massive, but I think it's just an experience in itself,
Mm-hmm.
And I think
What is,
abroad,
yeah,
MUN matters
go
a
ahead, go
lot,
ahead.
like not as much as here.
Meaning, why not?
I think over here, like MUN is just seen as debating. And it
Yes.
happens very frequently out here. I think abroad what happens is that even there are a lot of international conferences that we have in our country, but over there it's very serious. Like, people from across countries are going together for conferences, and it's like over there it's regarded as okay, not everyone can talk about this, so it's like very selected people are sent from the university. And like if you had this
Hmm.
on your application, it's considered big, because over there conferences are mostly cross country and like intercollegiate than just like local.
That makes sense. Like I think what you're saying is that we milk it out like by using it, like having like 30, 40, everybody is okay here, give a delegation to everyone as long as you pay for it. Is that what the concept is?
Not essentially. I think the problem here is that it happens very like frequently. Like I know when
Hmm.
I was in school, I can like honestly on my list tell you 100 people who are organizing it. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
so
Hmm.
it happens like very locally, right? So let's say if an MUN is happening, and it happens every year in every city, like the circuit is
Hmm.
huge. So if it's happening that frequently and it's the same people participating again and again, you're like, huh, this is the guy who does this and this is what he wins at. So the competition isn't necessarily that massive
Hmm. Hmm.
compared to
Hmm. Hmm.
what's
Hmm.
like abroad. And over here, just like, oh, this is just debating. Like debating and MUNing is similar, but it's not the
It's
same kind of
not
thing.
at all. There's a lot that goes into an MUN. Yeah, I
Exactly.
get it. I
Yeah.
get it. But coming to debating, you did organize debates. You were telling me, I think last year when we were making the debate society.
So I think with me, I have been even at IMAN, I used to organize more than I used to
Hmm.
like
Hmm. Hmm.
participate. So I am like not someone, I have participated, I have chaired committees, but for me, it's more of the organizing. So I think in my junior college as well, so 11th, 12th, I was at KC. So over there also I'd organized, and mainly I've organized like 12 Model UN conferences only in different cities in India. So
Hmm.
like quite literally from like up north in Punjab to like West Bengal or Chennai. It's been like different places
Hmm.
that have organized these.
So you were telling me even in schools is essentially where you did these debates, right? Made these debates.
Yeah.
How is
Debates,
that?
Model
Yeah.
UN. Yeah.
So how is that? How does that? Is it for IIMan, or was
No, no,
that
no.
something you
That's
did on
that's
your own?
totally different. So this cities thing I'm talking about was my internship, what I
Okay.
did for like 15 months in my 11th and 12th. In school, I used to participate, and then like
Hmm.
towards the end, like when we were getting out of school and we were going to pass out, my school itself was very into all of this. So like we have a thing like every year the alumni organizes this
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
So I was
Hmm.
a
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of
yeah.
that.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, in like, how is there like as in terms of knowledge? I'm sure, but a difference in college students as opposed to school students. What is the main difference that you've seen in terms of debating or money in general?
Like very honestly, college students are just more cockier in general. Like they think
Yeah.
they've achieved the world. Like it's like over to them, it's like you're in college now, you're thinking like career wise, like it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I want to do this, I want to do this internship or something like that. So for telling them, oh, like come for a debate or something, they're just like, oh, this is something that, oh, if I'm into, or I'll do this as an extracurricular, but it doesn't really matter to me. Like that's the approach that I
Hmm.
have come across that college students have. Like only if I know someone who's like really into like political news and stuff like that, like they'd want to come, or someone who's good at public speaking. Like essentially, like those are the only two kinds of people which will come in college. In
Hmm.
school, it's like, oh, in school we take extracurriculars very seriously, like because like everyone's doing sports, somebody's doing music. So in school you get to like showcase that talent kind of thing, which is why school students, it means a lot more to them, because
Yeah.
like it's more than the certificate for them.
Hmm.
Just
Fair
that.
enough. Yeah. That I think like does do are college students more politically let's say like are they more aware of things politically? Is the years difference in years also reflecting on their knowledge?
Yeah, for sure. I think that when, very honestly, like when I was in the 11th and 12th, I used to read a lot, but like the opinions that I used to have, I was massively into it, like so much that I had went up, I was a member of the BJP youth cell. Like that's how
Like
much I
one
had
second.
registered. Like,
So you're a member of the BJP youth cell in
Was.
a
It's a
were, yeah, I said were.
huh.
Like in what way? Like you're saying literally or in one of the months like that, in one of a
No,
make believe
literally.
scenario, like literally.
No, literally. Yeah.
Oh my.
It's not as massive as it sounds.
Meaning?
So basically, if you want to, these youth cells are just that. If you want, you can go online, you can register yourself, and you get a member ID.
Oh,
You
like
get
that.
a
Okay.
you get in 2 minutes. So what they essentially need you to do is that give us money and promote BJP to your friends. That's essentially that you got to do. And sometimes they organize these meetings and all. It was just that I was so into it, I registered and like I was stupid enough to like donate money, and now I'm like anti BJP big time. But like whatever, I had that phase. So I think with time you understand a lot, like that
Hmm.
perspective that people say that comes when you're in undergrad, that definitely happens.
I completely agree. I think when I was in the 11th, firstly, I'm like the last person I should talk that should talk about politics. I don't know jack shit. But any new name, any one, I used to read one piece of news, and I remember in the 12th grade, I just gotten into capitalism, socialism, communism, and all of
Oh,
that. And I used to read 5 6 lines and go like smack it on everybody. Like
same.
this is the way of life. No idea, nothing. Then someone will question it like, okay, what does this mean? All that doesn't matter. So sunna, bro. I'll tell you why capitalism is great. Don't listen to anybody. So that
Yeah, I
I
think
know
we've
what you
all
mean.
gone through that.
Yeah. But coming to that, the political aspect of things, where do you want to apply all of this in your life? Are you planning on being in any way associated with politics?
As much as I liked, no. Like I don't think I'm gonna do this. Like you know as well. Like I know a lot of people like from the
Hmm.
fraternity, like if I may like say loosely, but this is not something that I want to do. It's something that I'm just extremely passionate about, and like because of my linkage to the organization, I keep
Hmm.
like I stay in touch with all those kinds of people, but this is not something that I wanted to. And I think one of the biggest reasons was that, like, let's just say if I wanted to pursue a career in something like this as well, firstly my parents will kick me out of the house. They don't like my opinions in any case. And also at the end of the day, like, not going to lie, I shit bricks. Like, even if you have contacts or something like that, and if you make it like
Yeah.
as if this may not sound real, but I think I'm gonna like someone's gonna shoot me dead or something in an alley.
Why do you think
Like,
like that?
I have, so in my building on the third floor, there used to be some guy who was, I'm not gonna like give out like details, but like he was from like he was in the political
Politics,
party. And
huh?
yeah, and I was damn young, okay, and like the lane next to my house, he has been like shot down like physically, and his family has been like, they have like 24/7 police protection. Like, let me just say that's how serious it is for them.
What
They
area are
tried to
you
like get
staying in? What is all this? I'm,
I have
oh my lord.
I am just scared for my life.
Is it like you live town side? Is it a towny thing? Like do you all see a lot of
No,
politics
not
get
at all.
shot down?
No, not at
Oh
all. This
my
is not how it
god.
is.
Dude, Andheri is very peaceful like that. At the most, you'll see like loco boys doing stupid shit on scooties.
It is the same here. Just like I have seen too much and I'm too scared.
But then what? Then where do you want? Like, I mean, if you were to say there were a set of skills, I'm sure that you've learned, right? Public speaking, organization of ideas, and all, right? And where have you been applying that in your life?
I don't think it's as much of an application wherein, like, the thing I'm so passionate about is that, like, I don't get when people say like, why you interested in politics, because like
Hmm.
it is your life. Like, it's
Yeah, technically it
what the
is.
government, yeah, like, what the government does is directly as well as indirectly affecting me every single day, every
Yes.
single minute. So like it's something that, like, I consider this as like something that everyone should know. Like,
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
like when everyone says everyone should know about financial, like, because it helps them in their life, like people should be financially literate.
Hmm.
This is the same. Like, even if you're applying to like stocks or like something like that, the political scenario affects your business, your personal life. Like, you
Yeah,
want to go fill up
absolutely.
petrol, Like, the petrol
Exactly.
prices, like everything is affected. So like, for me, it's just that this is life, and
Hmm,
if
hmm, hmm.
if someone is interfering in my life in a bad day, of course I'm gonna goddamn care about it. So like,
Absolutely.
that's
No,
where
yeah,
it stems from.
100%. To the extent that somebody listening to this conversation could also want to strike it down, and maybe your political, like the political atmosphere of the country right now being, free speech and all being a big problem. This, to the extent that things that you like to listen to, musicians, artists, like anybody, right? This podcast, for an instance, anything could be like chopped and
Exactly.
cut out. It matters. It matters. And I absolutely agree, 100%. But do you like, what are the few things you think you have like mastered or learned, or what is the difference you've seen in yourself after getting into this world of debating and moneying is a term, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think the biggest difference is that like you initially get into it saying, oh, I can like speak well and like I can like flex about, oh, I know about this and that. But I think what like it comes to is that like what we've been seeing on Instagram in the past 2 years, that like read from 10 places, check your sources, like before like spitting out like some facts to someone. Like that's the biggest thing that they have in MUNs, that even though you're saying some kind of information, where you've read it from, like the source of it like matters. Like you
Hmm.
can't just like read something off like a news article, or like something that you heard from someone. So it actually like defines like what is considered as news. Like, and I think in our journalism course also, like there is, I think a professor had said this and it stuck with me like damn well. Like there's nothing like fake news. Like, when you give news the credibility of like being fake, it's like you're saying, okay, it's okay to be like fake. So like we should just like not like consider it as news kind of thing. So I think that was like the biggest difference for me.
Explain that concept. I understood it, but for people listening, go a little more into depth into what that statement meant.
So, in our journalism course this semester, so let's just say we're reading some piece of information on the internet, right?
Hmm.
So, what do we consider as news? So, let's say it's coming from like a credible source that you consider credible.
Hmm.
It can be an social media influencer who talks a lot about political issues on a daily basis. But what do we know that their information is coming from, right?
Hmm.
So that is questionable and debatable. We know we consider a source or a news ethical enough when it's coming from like a news organization that a lot of people listen to, and we know that speaks facts. Like, when Arnab Goswami is speaking, he's not speaking like sense most of the time. Like
Hmm.
a Faye D'Souza, who a lot of people like follow, she's fact checking. And you must have seen this a lot of times, that even if she puts something incorrect, she like correct it immediately, saying no, the
Yeah,
source has
yeah.
changed. And so I think that's the difference. And when people say fake news, like the only difference, it's like you're saying news and it's allowed to be fake. So when you put the two together, you're giving the news the credibility that okay, you can be fake. So we should just not term it as news. So it's like you're banning it from like that scenario. Like
But
that's what I
then
think.
that, um doesn't that open a whole gateway of what can and cannot be banned?
I don't i don't think like I meant banning like literally. Like an
Hmm. No,
example,
meaning like not paying heed to or attention to, right?
I think an example of what I'm talking is what Twitter does. Like, when a lot of people
Manipulative
like,
media or something.
yeah, like when a lot of people post something which is not like factually correct, there's like this sign which Twitter puts down that I don't know what they say, but like sources may, this can be factually incorrect or something. I know they put like this statement down on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's essentially what I'm like talking about. Like, it's up there, but like they're terming it
Hmm.
like, okay, this is not, like they're pinpointing it, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what I mean.
But what do you think of this entire idea of like, um people being banned or removed from social media in general, like, political people or influencers in general?
Like by the government.
No, by the company, like let's say Twitter or Facebook or Instagram.
I think, like, I personally think it's actually great, because for me, it's just that when a lot of our lives is based off what we do and read on social media, right? So if, and let's say in the pandemics in the past 2 years, if that's exactly what we've been looking at, that is what we consume and what we're going to think the
Hmm.
first place. Like if someone like plays some song which I've heard on like reels, that's what's going to come up to me. So I think when they like start differentiating on like something that we consume on a daily basis, saying no, what you're reading is incorrect, I think you start processing that in like that way. Oh, this can be incorrect too. Like I know if Twitter does it, and like Instagram would start doing it, it would like be massive for all of us. So
Hmm.
even if I'm reading something on Twitter and I've read something incorrect on Instagram, I sit and pinpoint, oh, Twitter does this and now Instagram can do this and this is incorrect. So I think it's massive that they're doing it, because like it helps people to like
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
go pinpoint at the end of the day. But
Yeah.
like banning people is questionable, but like
Yeah, the whole
I
cancel culture thing.
yeah, that's just stupid.
No, I get it. I absolutely get it. In a lot of senses, I think that although it is very important, I completely agree with you that it's supremely important. Like I think of it like, let's say in school we learn stuff, right? We get our textbooks. We never doubt what in the textbooks is true or not true, right? You're never gonna doubt a chemistry equation in your Viraf Dalal. Like you're
Yeah,
not gonna doubt what is in total history and all. There is nothing you're going to doubt. Similarly, at this age, let's say post the age, I mean, let's say assume that you're out of the textbook world in the 12th grade, right? Let's say you're done and dusted. Now you're entering a whole world of information. If online a lot of your education comes from, that should also be treated, information should also be treated as like something that is educating people, and you should fact check that. It is very
yeah, for
very
sure.
important. And yeah, I get it. But what do you like think in terms of, let's say, journalism being right now in a lot of like issues, like a lot of political heat, a lot of nonsense going on in journalism in general, and you've been very like active in this sphere. Where do you think we're headed as a country and as a body of people in general?
I think with our country to like say, I think we're always, I cannot like honestly imagine a place where things are always going to be like okay, and like people are
Mm-hmm.
going to like always put up like factual information. Like I don't think like a world can that like that can ever exist. But to see, I think with in terms of like journalism and how news is picking up, I think there has been like it would be like wrong to say that there has been no change at all, because like a lot of like as I was talking about Twitter or like something like that, a lot of news agencies are taking out the time to like not just like give you like clickbaity stuff, like talk against the government, even though
Mm-hmm.
it means like them getting like a case or them getting banned, and
Mm-hmm.
so many journalists have been killed, like straight
Yeah,
out
yeah,
killed.
yeah, yeah, I know.
Like we may not have seen this in like urban scenarios, but like even when I'd gone for these conferences, I'd heard so much, like so I think we're definitely going on a high right now. But I think just one thing that we could probably do, or I think the government would do, is what like the Americans do with their news. Like they have the protection of the government saying, okay, you're saying news, but like we won't like we're not gonna like kill you for it, or we're not gonna like stomp down on you every time you speak against the government. Like it's okay to do so. And like that is being normalized, and I think it will be. Like I
Hmm.
think with youth leaders coming up and all of that.
But that, like, are we seeing that happen in India? Because I am seeing it reach a it reaches a new low every time. I assume that it'll get a little better, because we started cracking down, like the whole country started cracking down on quote unquote Godi media, right? And they all started cracking down on those news channels. But the independent journalism and ground reporting is at its all time devastation at this point. What can, like, someone like us at our age, in our section, in our education level, what do we do to switch it back to, let's say, even a regular level?
I think what we can only do from our side is that like talk to people and like spread awareness. Like we must have heard it so many times saying spread awareness and all,
Hmm.
but like every time you share like a story or something, you're gonna have to be mindful of what you're sharing.
Hmm.
And when it comes to ground reporting, I think selective consumption is like the key. Like, you know, even of what we're consuming, let's say a lot of people like Arnab Goswami has become so famous because people were watching his crap. Like, you know, I know my own
Absolutely.
father used to sit and like every 7 p.m. used to sit and watch his news. Even if it's true or untrue, you want to watch it. You want to like watch or hear the spew that they're like, you know, crap that they're saying out to
Hmm.
people.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I think what on an individual level we can do is stop consuming that kind of content because it's helping them in the end of the day. And like if
Hmm.
you don't want
Absolutely.
that, just don't give into that.
How then? So what news channels do you watch, or where do you get your information from in general?
I think for me, I think everyone knows Faye D'Souza here.
Hmm.
Then I think I follow multiple, like I follow these BJP INC Instagram pages as well. So it's like you hear both parties. So
Yes.
for me,
Yep.
it's like that. You know, you don't
Yeah.
always just listen to like someone
Hmm.
who's
Hmm.
speaking.
Hmm.
So I follow Al Jazeera or like even on InShots where they like write tinier stuff
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
or like I think every news channel that you can think of, I think I follow like 30, 40 of them on my Instagram
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
go on my list. So I don't have like someone specific I listen to.
Yes.
So it's like a range of news channels, politicians, and even like lawyers who know the law and then they like fact check it
Hmm.
for you and like tell you what it
One
is.
second, huh? Boom, we're back. Sorry, my mom came in. She had some work.
Yeah, it's
But
good.
yeah, we were talking about what are we talking about right now? Like how ideas are repetitive and ideas are similar if one, like, you know, all the questions are different. These are things in general people, whoever's listening, right? It's all right if they like, it's you're somebody who has a little more experience than most people who are in at our age in a political atmosphere, right? Or are just consuming news but aren't really, like, don't have, let's say, a debate as a forum to express your political opinions, right? It's it's fine to have like you establishing the mindset that okay, this is how I work, and even if it's a small sphere, that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
For me, it's not like, oh, I'm going to be like the one changing like mindsets or something. It's just like, oh, like first time on a podcast, is this
It's
getting
all right
boring? So
for
they were just
no it.
annoyed.
Okay, see, there is nothing you what I can't ask you anything particularly entertaining.
Of course, of course.
Like, I can ask you things you know about, right? Now if today I ask you like like how does India get out of an economic crisis, explain through macroeconomic diagrams,
Yeah, yeah.
like what are you going to tell me? You get it? Like,
Yeah,
people, like, there
yeah.
might be
We're gonna be
someone who will be
sleeping
like,
on the side.
yeah, it's all right. You're, for lack of a better word, at least you're an expert in this concept, right? You've been around a lot of, since even like trusting news sources was not a conversation. Debating and MUNs in general is a very big like platform where this
True.
is looked
I get
at.
where you're coming from now. Yeah.
Yeah. But in how do you fact check in an MUN?
In MUN, it's very restricted on the sources that you can actually read up from. So it's like government organizations, government sites, Reuters, Al Jazeera, and BCC to a certain extent.
Hmm.
So you just
Then
get information about this, and then it can be opinions, but it's mostly just factual.
so like it's very restrictive on what news channels or news sources you can, get
Yeah,
into basically.
because for them they just don't consider anything else factually correct. Like that's what it is. Like
Hmm.
this is factually correct, everything else is just opinions of people which we don't consider. That's the bottom
Hmm.
line.
But if you, let's say, cite a news source, or I don't know, cite what MUN citing is, I don't know what that means in MUN.
Refer, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If you refer, let's say, an NDTV or a Republic TV, also, right? even though it might not have the credible, it's a news channel, so it's still, you can't really say that this is correct or not correct, or true or not true.
So it's not like people don't use it. It's like I will use from it if it makes sense. It's like if I'm saying something, if it makes sense, people won't question it. But like, if it's
Mm-hmm.
questionable and you've read something else somewhere, people will come down at you, okay, give me the source. And then like it gets questionable, saying, oh, like why you like reading or like hearing, this news channel. So it's just like that. Like nobody will
So
question you if it makes
yeah, yeah.
sense.
So if I say, like, if I'm talking and I say that, this point, let's say, like, communism has a better outlook in India as a country. It's, although it's an opinion, nobody knows the fact, right? So if you say that, even, let's, like, if I say it's a better economic, it's better economically for India, even experts like, let's say, Shashi Tharoor believe, I mean, I do, he's not
Yeah,
an
that's okay.
economist.
That works. But like I'll ask you, why do you think so? Okay, Shashir Tharoor thinks so, he thinks so, but why do you think so? Like what else? Give me more. It's just
Okay,
that.
I understand. Yeah. So it works more or less like a research paper, or a proper essay that you're writing.
Yeah, but it's like fun because like you get to roast
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So there's one MUN, I don't know, it's a department, I don't know what the hell they're called, but basically you're 20 years into the future or something. What is that called? Something from
the
I.
futuristic committees in
Yeah,
general.
yeah, something. Yeah. So in my school, when I was Germany, it was that. And in 2014, Germany had just won the World Cup. So when you're saying, like, present and voting and all, I drew on our placard, I drew a World Cup behind. And I was like, yes, present and voting with the World Cup. And the USA was next to me, and he got the mic and he was like, 20 years into the future, you'll still have the World Cup. Like, oh shit. I didn't consider that. That's most kids, dude. I think, like that. How wild does it get in your MUNs in general?
I think it's the same. It's just like it's what your area of interest is. Like as you said, there's different committees, right? So
Hmm.
people like would like there are FIFA committees, there are Harry Potter
What do you
committees,
mean
then there are
FIFA
more.
committees?
So there are actually committees wherein like it's like people discuss where you're like given like a team or like members,
Hmm.
and like you're, let's say, but 20 people in a committee room, okay?
Hmm.
The agenda is, I'm not very well versed with sports, I wouldn't know, but like
Hmm.
let's say for example, we want to discuss the issue of substance abuse of players or
Hmm.
something
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
that. That's just something that I'm thinking. Obviously, it's a
Ah,
little bit of
yeah,
fun,
yeah.
and then there are different players, or sometimes there are different teams, and then you're discussing it.
Oh.
So there are fun committees, and then there are serious committees too.
Oh, so it's not only an United Nations, it's also like a, basically you're playing a character.
Yeah. So
Oh,
essentially, MUN is supposed to be a replica, but it has evolved into like this fun committees because that's
dude,
what sells also. Like not everyone's going to be
yeah.
interested in like talking about this.
Bro, I think I'm getting old. This was not around when I was in the 10th grade, dude.
It was.
Bro,
This
no
has been
chance.
around like this. Maybe not so much. Like now it's famous, so
Yeah,
probably yeah.
yeah. Oh shit, man. I'm becoming old or what, bro? Like in my 11, 12, this wasn't even I've not even heard of it once. Like I've not had
Really?
no, or maybe I was just in my own world, man.
Probably yeah. Highly
Yeah,
possible.
yeah. But you did your 11th and 12th from KC College, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a good arts college at least. What did you do there?
I studied arts. Like there was, it's just what it is, and there over there attendance wasn't an issue. So I have barely attended like in. I'm not exaggerating. I have had like a cumulative of 14% attendance for my both years. Like I was 7 hours a day. I was at my internship place, which was this IIMU, which was 10 minutes from my college. Like
Hmm.
my high school, like my 11th and 12th, has been that internship for me.
That's
I
wild.
just
Which
used to
which
go
school
for
were you in?
exams and practicals.
Which school were you in?
Do you know Gopi Birla?
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So that shit, man. Is in comparison to so ISCs and IBs and all have a lot of months, but is it the same case in your government? Oh, no, for a lack of, like, better understanding of things like government colleges, let's say, right, or funded or aided? Is it the same push that they get?
Not really, because I think in our college, like the teachers don't give a damn. It's like
Hmm.
this what the students want, the students will organize and the teachers give also permission.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
when it's
Hmm.
something large scale, like the principal will get involved till a certain extent, but like the students have the freedom to do anything that they like. So it was a thing, but it was like in my college at least, it wasn't like a massive thing for sure. Like we had a small debating like club where there were 15 people from all streams, like from arts,
Hmm.
commerce, and science, there were 15 people. Bus.
Bas.
Yeah.
But in I this I wanted to understand in terms of your I've asked you this before, but I want to get a hold of this in terms of speaking abilities. How does like I mean, obviously, yes, it helps you, better your speech and all, but in the long run in life, what have you seen people who are munners and debaters and all gain a significant hold of public speaking and utilize it in their own life?
Yeah, I think it has happened with me on a personal basis because,
Hmm.
like, very honestly, I could never talk in front of like people. Like, I could, like, if it's like in a closed space or something, I could talk like 50, 60 people in your class. But, like, I think after debating, what it really gets to you is that firstly, you have to prepare a speech. So, like, you get to learn how to write what works with an audience, what really doesn't work with an
Hmm.
audience,
Hmm.
like,
Hmm. Hmm.
where
Hmm.
you're going to get claps, like things like that. So like you
Hmm.
learn how to like actually form something which makes sense but also sounds entertaining. And I think just the core of it really teaches you to like be calm. Like you're speaking something, it's going to offend someone, but like you're going to have to like stay calm and true to your core no matter what like someone's going to tell you. So I think it essentially helps a lot in that way. Like you may abuse me like for like the next 20 minutes now, but like I'm gonna like have a straight poker face. So
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
we saw that
No, no, I
with
get it.
the incident. Yeah.
Which one? Oh my lord. Oh, that bro. Kushi of no. Okay, so for people that don't know why Kushi is laughing, this kind of mean you can't laugh about it. It's still I've like blocked it out. I need to like get help for that
Dude,
firstly.
you know what? Before you say it, I have I'm gonna block this in my head as something I'm gonna use in my interview. Like when someone says, "What is?" When people ask that question, "What is something that you really overcame?" This is going to be like the laugh at my
Yes,
next interview at my job application.
I know because if not for you, okay. So firstly, people that
No,
don't
no, it's
know,
not like that.
firstly, people that don't know, we for our college festival called Paper Planes, we had this student politics panel, organized by my committee, which was called the Conclave, and in that we had an entire like a section of let's say like people who the student politics panel discussion basically, and in that panel discussion we had like Gurmer Kaur, Anish, and like a UN ambassador. I can't even pronounce his name. Some legends basically, and even Rishabh, who's like a big debater. And is he the guy who formed IIMan or something?
Yeah, yeah. He's the
Yeah,
founder and president of
yeah,
IIMN.
he that. And imagine like those four people, top level people, Gurmer Kaur and all. Like these are people you see but can never contact like that. And Chaitanya, one of my closest friends, like he was all chill with it. And in the middle of like the first 10 minutes or something, somebody like started showing porn in the meeting, and it was like Zoom bombing is a thing. And I have never like my heart stopped beating. Like there's a response, fight, flight, and none of that. I froze. I just froze, and I was like, shit. And like five, because I was the person, mate. Khushi was the person who was like conducting everything. Like she knows how to do this stuff. I'm the person that can piece together everything, but she knows how to like you know
Yeah, yeah.
moderate
Karan is
everything.
being very modest.
No, but you really think about it. Like you know how to handle this. Like I'm the guy who can like have an idea, but execution wise, like I'm a dud in this department. If I was in your place, I would have ended the meeting. Like I would have left the meeting and never spoken about it. Fuck it. Like whoever wants to handle it can
But
handle
like
it.
on the day was quite traumatic. But like I've learned that this is going to be like my big laugh at my university and job application. This is what I'm going to say. Like, I
Yeah,
have pinned this down.
you make a good story out of it because you like so again continuing Khushi was the person who like even after that okay sorry for the thing and all and we will resume shortly and all whatever and she like figured it out in the most professional calm manner whereas I'm running I was like literally at this desk I was sitting right here and I was pacing back and forth running around like calling people what the fuck happened what the fuck happened and I was like almost in tears, bro. And then like after everything settled, I told her, dude, thank you. Like this you use that. Yeah, actually, and I haven't told my friends about this because I was like, they laugh. Like two
Dude,
people I told.
same. I told my friends and they were like, huh, this happened to you, and they were laughing for 5 minutes. I'm like, do you understand what I went through? I was
Exactly.
giving an introduction of an ambassador and someone plays explicit content
Oh
on the
my
screen.
god, ambassador. Oh my god,
It's a big
embarrassing.
laugh.
It
It's
is
okay.
embarrassing. That is the case. Oh man. I told two friends of mine, and first, the first question I got, like, this is my friend circle for everybody. There's what kind of porn was it? I was like,
Same. This was the first question I got asked. Same.
does that matter? That doesn't fucking
And
matter.
and can I just say it happens not once, but whoever was whoever Zoom bombed it happened 3 times, one after the
Oh,
other.
I want to know. Like, I really want to know. I asked Som, like, if we have a recording of it, can we see who the user was? Like, can we see their name? He's like, I don't know, bro. Kanupriya told me not to share it with anyone. Like, you can with me. I'm the person who. This is my fucking event. What do you mean you can't share it with me? What kind of a garbage logic are you giving me? It's horrible, man. Which is why I liked it when it happened in person. Like 2020 it happened in person the and that's why I enjoyed it like it was in person I could ask questions on my own
But it's
you
okay,
could
fun times.
I wouldn't you can go ahead and categorize it like that but I wouldn't but on that note thank you Khushi it has been a pleasure having you here but it's been an hour and I think it's somewhat the limit but thank you so
Yeah,
much
for
for being
sure.
here
Thank you so much for having me. I think it's been a lot of fun talking to you about this. We went from like this to that, and it's
yes
been
and
epic.
everything in between so
Yeah,
that's a good
for
thing
sure.
I'm so happy with you thank you so much thank you for being on table talk with TLC I know I don't say it but it's like I can't but I have to so table talk with TLC thank you so much Kushi
Thank you so much.
do you want to plug anything like do you have your shit I forgot the name of your Instagram page that where you write thoughts and ideas something I checked it out.
I don't really write. It just I'm not someone who can like write very eloquently, but like I just have thoughts which I went out. It's called a public journal, but I think just 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my house help is in the room. That's why. Okay, so I think one thing I think what I would like to like just tell people like ending it with is just that you should question what you perceive as normal. Like if you think this is normal for you, just like go back and like to the definition saying, oh, is this what it is? Because like I don't think if somebody would have perceived like, oh, if like girl and guy were to marry and like somebody wasn't have perceived like, oh, is this normal? Then I don't think the idea of like us understanding or like telling someone else that oh this can be normal too would have arisen. So like just go back and question everything around you at the risk of sounding philosophical. Is this normal? That's
But
all.
go ahead and explain that. It's all right. We'll take another 5 minutes. But explain that because I understood it because I'm kind of cuckoo, so I know all this. But for people that are general, explain this in a good way with an example. They'll like it. It'll be nice.
So I think what essentially I was trying to say was that with the loose example that everyone would understand that we know that same sex love and marriage has existed in the past in let's say our culture, but in a few years, let's say in the past 40 50 years, society has like looked down towards it and people don't like readily accept it, not probably our generation but the older generations. So when we think of marriage, like the first thing that comes to my like would come to my head was like a man and a woman, right? But then you go and question saying, oh, is this normal? Is this how it's supposed to be? So you go and like question the definition of what it's supposed to be itself
Hmm.
for you to understand, oh, how different could it be than this. So
Hmm.
essentially, just like, even if we're talking about like, oh, is sky blue or something like that, like just imagine like if the person like wouldn't have questioned and spoken about, like we wouldn't have any of our massive revolutions or uprising in the
Yeah.
country, like any riot. Like you go back and like think about it, like if any of you like go and take like any revolution or riot like today, think about it and just go think of the leader who started it, and this is what he'll tell you, like, oh, this is not what it's supposed to be, this is what it's supposed to be. And I think that only happens when you go and question the core idea of what is perceived as normal.
Hmm. I think that in like I completely agree with you. Like in a way, if we just take, like, let's say this thing is good, right? Let's say, like, we take concept A is good, and we don't question why or what concept A is. There is no way for us to, like, let's say democracy in general, like the most, like, the most valuable thing to society, in my opinion at least. If we don't question democracy, what is the benefit of it, what we thought of it as, now what it is, just number of people increasing in voting doesn't mean democracy. If 5 billion people are voting doesn't mean it's a democracy. What goes beyond it is democracy. And I think,
Yeah, yeah, precisely, spot on.
yeah. So that's, I wish I would have asked you that earlier. I wish I got to that earlier. I think it would have been nice. I'm so sorry.
It's cool, like, no, it's perfectly cool. Just
Because
one
you
last thing
are
I just like to,
yeah.
I just think like one last thing I'd like to say, sorry, I know it's been too
Go
long,
ahead.
but
No, no,
you
no,
know,
go ahead.
we do this very loosely with like things around us which are materialistic. Like, if I have some clothes in my cupboard, you go back to it like 4 months down the line, or when you clean your cupboard, you go think, oh, do I need this anymore? So when we do this on a daily basis with like the materialistic things around us.
Hmm.
And when it comes to like more abstract concepts which you think like, oh, it doesn't matter, it doesn't happen very naturally. So I think that could just be like a conscious processing, oh, I do this already, but I need to do this with like everything else around me too.
Hmm.
So
I know, absolutely. Like, it, discarding older ideologies is not a bad idea. Like, it is rather a good thing. Old doesn't necessarily mean good. Like, at one point we
exactly.
thought sati was good. That is not good, right? There was somebody who questioned it, like, what the hell, why? Like, granted, it was used in different times when, like, people used to invade kingdoms and all, and it was like a necessary thing to do, so otherwise you're going to be used as a sex slave or something. But it's changed now. You're like, things similarly, there are millions of things like that, right? And we all kind of come to an agreement that no shit, there is no reason why this should happen now. So yeah, I agree with you. Evolving and discarding or adopting older ideologies that could be used now. It's not. It's a rather good thing to do, and I agree with you on that. Absolutely. I really you're an avid how do I say it, seeker, philosophical thinker, if I may say, and I wish I would have tapped into that a little earlier. I apologize, but
It's
maybe
all
we'll have you
cool.
on again in a more philosophical sense.
For sure.
But thank
Thank you
you.
so much.